Yo, this is Soul 13, bringing you Raid Shadow Legends. Today we are going to be doing our fusion guide, fusion plan for Karato, Foxhunter. Nice. So I have a lot of energy saved up for this because I'm not really playing the game anymore. I'm just playing the new game plus thing. Check out my channel for that. So this is going to be a traditional fusion event with 1 new epic and 4 new rares. So you've seen this before, but if this is your first time seeing this kind of fusion, I will explain it right now. So here we go. So what's going to happen is you will need 4 copies of Filja, which is a epic for Dwarf, and every copy of Filja can be fused with 4 new rares, which is going to be Trugor, Spymaster, Medicus, Cagebound. Alright, and of course, if you put the 4 Filjas together, you will get Karato. What does this mean? This means that if you're like Magic Ascension, if you need Magic Ascension pots, you're going to have to farm them up right now, or when the keep opens, because I think Filja is a magic champ, so you're gonna need like magic ascension bots for her, essentially. And let's take a look at the events right now, and I'll let you know what I think about the cost structure they want for this. So right off the bat, Filja is only available as a standalone epic from playing Summon Rush, which is happening I think tomorrow. So I'll do a video again tomorrow to talk about what they're offering up for Summon Rush. I think it's a 10x event tomorrow. But an epic in Summon Rush basically means around 3,000 to 3,500 points. Maybe 2,500 if they're feeling generous, but usually it's 3,000 to 3,500. So if you want both Karato and the epic, there is a way to do it, but you're going to have to play in Summon Rush. Alright, so a little bit iffy right off the bat, right? So unfortunate there that we don't get 2 chances at it. Like with Datura, we had, I think, a Summon event and Champ training, which is what you usually do for these kinds of fusion events. But for some reason, they didn't do it here. Might be a trend. We don't know yet. Because so far, what they've been doing is they've been increasing the amount of shards you'll need to open per fusion event. So at some point, people might end up being squeezed, and you may need to skip an event, right? Which is why you're here, because you want to know, is this worth using, or should you skip? We'll get to that, but let's talk about the event schedule first. So right off the bat, what you're looking for is Champ, Chase, and Summon Rush. Here we go. So Champ Chase and Summon Rush are falling on the same champ, which is Cagebound, who is, I think, the void rare of this pool of rares. So we get 1 of each affinity and then a void rare. What I think about that? Well, unfortunately, that will negate a lucky pull of Filja from any of your shards that you open. So if you open shards for this event and somehow you pull a Filja in one of those shards, it doesn't mean you get to skip the summon events, because you'll still need to play in at least 1 summon event. So let's say tomorrow you open up, I don't know, until the rare, and somehow you pull Filja, then maybe you can skip 1 summon event. Maybe. But if you happen to open Filja after you get the rare, or after you get Filja, or if you get Filja at the same time, it kind of negates the whole thing. Now you can't skip the next. You can skip 1 summon event, right? But it won't allow you to skip both, which is kind of unfortunate. You know, before, if you got lucky because they were spread out between 2 rares, if you got the epic, if you got 1 of the epics, then that means you're good. You get to skip all the shard events. Kind of unfortunate, really, because they didn't give us a way to get Karato without pulling shards. So that's it. Straight off the bat, you're going to have to pull shards to get Karato. So is Karato worth it? So the other events are kind of pretty standard. And so far, I've seen the Ice Golem event and so all of this is kind of explained in my Reddit guide more. So look me up on there, WSoul13 on Reddit, and I'll have my fusion guide on there. And check this out. So yeah, this is pretty normal for fusion events. 2250 for the rare, and I think it's a 390 for the classic arena. Yeah, 390 for classic arena. So since I'm playing New Game Plus, I'm actually a lot closer to like the normal players classic arena ranking. So I'm floating between silver and gold 1 right now, I think, because this is what my defense looks like, right? So on offense, I'm still using my regular arena team, but I vaulted all my guys just to make it easier for me to sift through the champs for the New Game Plus thing I'm doing. But so far, yeah, this is my defense, so it's not quite as strong as my regular offensive team, which means I'm dropping trophies a lot. So I've been able to farm up. I haven't bought a token refill yet, so I think it holds true that if you're in silver, you don't need to buy up tokens to get through the classic arena event. So yeah, let's take a look at the fusion champ himself. Okay. So first we'll go through the rares, then we look at the epic, then we look at the fusion, okay? So first, Barb rare right here. Increased attack on the A1, not really that useful. Stun on the A2 is okay. The increased cooldown of target skills. It's fine, except he's on Barbarians. Barbarians doesn't really need help in Faction Wars, so not really anything special there. And also, because they don't give us an extra epic, you're going to have to pick between the epics or the rares for this one, right? You can't have, like, Karato, the epics, and then a copy of each rare. You can't do that for this particular event because they're only giving us one extra epic. So, you know, spoiler alert, I think Filja is better than any of the rares, but we'll go through them anyway, just for posterity's sake, right? So, this one is an HP-based champ for Banner Lords. Decreased buff duration, that's actually not bad for Faction Wars. Block buffs, also not bad for Faction Wars, also good in places like Hydra. And then he gets counterattack and provoke. Provoke doesn't really work, I think, in Hydra Boss. It's kind of unfortunate there. So, you know, wave clear / control champ-ish for Banner Lords. Maybe. The only problem is you have access to Archmage Helmut in Banner Lords, right? So kind of negates what he's really good at. I mean, AoE block buff is always good, even though the percentage isn't 100%. That's always good to have on any faction for Faction Wars in general, but not quite as high priority, I think, because you do have, like I said, Archmage Helmut, which kind of practically does the control thing very, very well. Okay, 2-hitter on the A1. This is Medicus for High Elves, and then we got a AoE decreased speed. It's fine. And then increased depth, increased speed. So, yeah, this champ ain't good. Definitely not a rare that you're gonna want to pull for specifically, right? What about this? The Void Rare. So Void Rare should have a little bit of power on it, right? That's the way it works. So A1 is a shield on himself. It's okay. I mean, you know, it's not bad. And it's 10% of his max HP. But he's a defense champ. Kind of unfortunate there, but, you know, not bad. A2 is 100% small decrease attack. And then A3 is an ally protect, the small ally protect, along with, wait, yeah, I think ally protect goes up to 50%, right? So it seems like it's a small ally protect. I'm actually not sure about that. Let's, I want to see something real quick. Sorry. Index. Let's go to Dark Elves. And then let's take a look at our girl Vizix. One of these has Ally Protect, 50%. Yeah. So that was the small version of Ally Protect. So yeah, Ally Protect and Decrease Attack are obviously good in Clan Boss. Unfortunately, it's a small version, so I don't know if it's worth investing in a rare there for small versions of those buffs. So I think it's a pass for that guy. Unfortunately, it is what it is, right? So let's take a look at Filja, and then we'll take a look at Karato. So Filja, surprise, surprise, I think is a pretty good epic. All right, so let's go through her skills real quick. So she's on dwarves. Dwarves are always looking for things to fill up for because faction wars in dwarves is pretty hard. 2-hit A1, decrease max HP. So automatically that's good in Scarab King. Although we have a lot more options in Scarab King now, so it's not really that important to have Scarab King thing. This A2 though is a fully deplete turn meter, 4-turn cooldown, 100% chance to place. Great in Scarab King as well. So, you know, could this be like something with Cold Heart or Soulbound Boyer or Armiger or whatever? I think the answer is yes. And you don't need to put her in Destroy set, which is another great bonus, I think. And then this one is AoE, attacks all enemies. You fill turn meter for every enemy you crit against, I think. Right? Yeah, crit against. And then you also heal 15%. I think this is talking about heals the champ 15%. I don't know why it's worded like that, but this is the reason why. So she has an AoE nuke. It's pretty good. It does nothing else but fills her turn meter for every hit, and then also heals her. So it's got a built-in lifesteal set, built-in destroy set, decrease, fully deplete turn meter. But this is where she gets spicy, right here. So if you only have 2 or less buffs on Filja, she will put on her own increase attack and increase crit damage buff. That's sick. That's great. And for like arena early in the game, like before you get Dark Elaine or even with Dark Elaine, she is a viable option as an arena nuker. And she has the upside of also being dungeon capable because of Deeply Turn Meter, which is good in Fire Knight. Double hit A2 is good in Fire Knight. She can also play in Scarab King because you get the Deeply Turn Meter and the decrease max HP. And then you can also put her on stun set for Faction Wars, right? So, because she has the built-in heal there, right? In Faction Wars, it should sustain her. I mean, it won't be enough to sustain her through the boss fight, but it should be enough to sustain her through the waves if you built her correctly for Faction Wars. So yeah, she kind of feels to me like a slam dunk of an epic. So for people that are kind of strapped on shards here, I do suggest to go for as many copies of this as you can because you're going to be putting them in Faction Guardians. I'll show you right now. So under Faction Guardians, right, dwarves have some amazing epics, right? So I got Rearguard Sergeant there. I don't have any more, unfortunately. Epic dwarves. And honestly, if this account wasn't going for Karato, because I think I'm gonna have to go for Karato because of the new game plus thing. If I wasn't going for Karato, I would just get 4 copies of them, just stuff them in there as like a free boost to my dwarf epics. So the dwarf epics have a lot of really good ones. There's of course we have Geomancer, right? Everybody knows Geomancer, Rearguard Sergeant. I think we have what's their name? Stone something. Let's take a look real quick before we move on to the main event, because I think this is worth putting out there. Yeah, so we got Grizzled Jarl, good. Filja, good. Rearguard Sergeant, amazing. Geomancer, amazing. Rockbreaker, amazing. Melga, amazing. Runekeeper Dasberg is actually not bad. Not something you want to sleep on. And then Demetha is straight amazing as an unkillable champ. So I think honestly, I would just go for as many copies of Filja as I can if you're not playing in the summon events. That's my opinion. And then we're looking at Karato Foxhunter right here, right? So Karato Foxhunter, legendary for Shadowkin. Shadowkin Faction Wars is out. Do you need chance for Shadowkin Faction Wars? If the answer is yes, then Karato is actually not bad to go for, honestly. He's not bad to go for that purpose only. But we'll go through his kit. He does have additional upside other than just playing Fashion Wars. But immediately his impact on your account, I don't think you'll feel it. That's just the reality. So if you're thinking about skipping, perfectly fine. I'm just going to let you know right now, he does have some upside. Okay? So let's talk about the upside right here. 3-hit A1 with Weaken. That's always good in Fire Knight. This A1 is 100% chance to place a stun. 2-turn stun. And then you get a bonus for Yumeko on your team. More on that later. But definitely get an extra turn, reset the cooldown of the skill if you kill an enemy. So this skill has to hit hard, right? To kill the enemy and stuff. But you'll see later while there's kind of like a conflict. The next one is an AoE, block active skills for 2 turn, 80% chance to place, books up to 100%. 4-turn cooldown, no reduction on the cooldown from books. This is kind of the disappointing part for me. I mean, I would spend another book to get an extra cooldown there. I mean, literally would be okay with extra book there to get an extra cooldown there. I don't know why they didn't do it. It doesn't seem like it's that oppressive to have a 3-turn cooldown on a 2-turn block active skills. I mean, I don't feel like that's suppressive at all enough in this game. But I guess the devs feel that it's too suppressive. You know, block active skills in a place like Hard Doom Tower is pretty much game over. I think it's about as game over as, you know, Provoke or any of the other control debuffs, right? Because you only have to contend with their A1s for 2 turns. It's actually really, really good. And then, of course, Yumeko on the team, you don't even need accuracy because now the debuff cannot be resisted. More on that later. So we go. This is the first part where you look at him and you go, okay, damage dealer with control aspects. So, what is this? Like the second coming of Astralon, I think, was it? Yeah. Not really. Because what he does here is he ignores enemy passive skills or masteries except bosses. Yikes. I wish they would have kept bosses in there, but maybe it was too broken. I don't feel like it's too broken because he doesn't have enemy max HP damage multipliers on his skills. I don't think so. Did I miss that? Attack. Nope. No enemy max HP. So I feel like they should have just included the boss passives here, but it's fine. So that's good because there are a lot of champs with damage mitigation in their passives. You know, most notably, I think it's Duchess. Duchess probably has the most notable damage mitigation passive. I'm not sure who else is like a meta thing in Arena with damage mitigation, but I'm pretty sure Duchess is there. Because I don't really focus on Arena, but definitely this is geared more for Arena, right? The next one is, although this, alright, let me back that up. Maybe this could have a little bit of an impact against Hard Doom Tower waves with the one with, darn, what is that champ's name? I keep forgetting this guy's name, man. He is an annoying champ to deal with. Oh, this guy, Urost. Yeah. I think he does have some kind of passive decrease. Cannot decrease this champ's. Oh, okay, maybe not. Maybe not. I lied. It doesn't really matter then for Urost. But yeah, damage mitigation champs. That's where you kind of get a little bit extra benefit from Karato. So let's get back on my train of thought there. Why is this not like the slam dunk amazing skill that it should be? Because you also ignore your own passive increased damage. So things like, I think, who has the passive damage increase? Is it, I'm thinking, is it Gerptuk? Gerptuk has a passive damage increase, I think. But also your own masteries. Yikes! This is terrible. So I don't know if this shouldn't affect passive. I feel like this shouldn't affect flawless execution, that plus 20% crit damage, because his crit damage is probably calculated a different way. I feel like this doesn't affect War Master because it's not really a damage increase. It's like a separate instance of damage. And I don't think it affects Helm Smasher because it's ignore death. Right? So this affects the other ones where it just says straight plus 10% damage, you know. Here's the thing though. When you build champs, the passives are a big part of making the champ hit hard. That's just the reality, especially for like dungeons and other things like that. So what's the point of this? Well, the point of this is that I think the point of this is that you're kind of like negating his full damage potential for the extremely random chance that you're gonna go up against enemy champ with damage mitigation passive. That's just the reality, I think, in my opinion. So here we go. Whenever Yumeko dies, you get an extra turn and you reset the cooldown of all your skills. Amazing, right? If Yumeko is on the team. But who is this Yumeko? Who is this mysterious lady? Alright, so we're going to have to talk about Yumeko if we're going to explore the full potential of Karato. So aura is crit rate all battles. So crit rate all battles, not really the best aura, not even a necessary aura. But some builds will use crit rate. You know, like some speed builds will use crit rate aura. So I'm not sure if he fits into a speed build team, honestly. So I don't even know if that's a big deal or not. But, oh, sorry. I'm getting a lot of text. Here is the, oh man, she is an attractive lady, isn't she? Oh, she's kind of like a, if Naruto was a girl. They do like the fox lore in Japanese mythology, don't they? So, Yumeko is possibly the best champ they've ever released in Raid. Possibly. She's definitely up there, and possibly the best. The reason why is this. I'm not even going to go through all her skills. Maybe we will. But the reason why is this. She has decreased cooldown of all allies by 3 turns, which most cooldowns is 4 or less. Right, so this basically resets to 0. And then increase cooldown of enemy skills by 3. Damn. So strong. You're putting Warlord and Kaimar in the same champ. It's amazing. And what is this? Oh my gosh. She also comes with increased ally accuracy all battles by 60. That's amazing. This is where Karato comes in. If you have Karato on the team, she will put Perfect Veil on herself, steal enemy Perfect Veil buffs, immune to all debuffs. Plus, she is immune to debuffs while she's under Perfect Veil. My god, that's so strong. And then she can steal Perfect Veil placed by the enemy, right? From this passive alone. This A3 is places a Hex. Hex on everybody. Attacks one enemy. Oh, no. It's only attack one enemy. So she is not absolutely broken then. There's a little bit of a redeeming factor here. So she's a Hex-based champ, but the Hex has to be placed by her. I don't know if the debuff spread will work. If it's originally placed by her. I don't know the math of that or the specifics of that. So I'm not here to answer specifics like skill interactions. What I'm here to answer, though, is her potential with Karato on the team. Whenever someone feels the turn meter of an enemy under a Hex debuff placed by this champ, she takes the turn meter. So unfortunately, it's not AoE, so it's not absolutely broken, right? But every time an enemy tries to place a debuff on your team, she can transfer that debuff to a random enemy if the Hex has been placed on that guy. So like in Arena, if you can somehow put a Hex on their debuffer before their debuffer goes off. That's amazing. That's strong. It's not really the strongest because, like I said, it's only a single target Hex, and her in this particular skill goes off of Hex. And then the other one is attack enemy 2 times, each hit steal 7-5. Okay, so it's a turn meter skill, turn meter fill and steal, right? Because this is steal. If the champion has 50 HP or more, okay. And then each hit heals this champion 30%. The champion has less than 50%. Okay, so it's got built-in life steal or built-in turn meter steal, depending on where her life is. So the A1 and A2 are obviously not amazing. This A3 is a godlike A3. This passive is actually an amazing passive, honestly. So I don't know if I think this last paragraph is the only one that needs Karato on the team, right? So I don't think the perfect veil necessarily doesn't happen if Karato is not on the team. I'm not sure, but I'm leaning towards only this bottom paragraph happens when Karato is on the team. So yeah, what's the point of all this, like, you know, prostrating over Karato? Should you fuse? Should you not fuse? You already know my answer to this, gents, ladies and gents. I think fusion events, if you can go for the fusion champ, you should absolutely go for the fusion champ. No ifs, ands, and buts. Every time you can do it, go for it. You know, if you've given up on this game and you're done, you know, you can skip. But if you're still playing this game, you should always play the fusion events. It's the best way to play Raid. Even if this champ is like absolute gutter trash, there is upside. Plus, Shadowkin just opened, so everybody needs champs for Shadowkin faction. He is going to be good enough for Faction Wars in Shadowkin. I mean, that's not even a question. So, in my opinion, alright, there is like this increasing slope of the amount of shards you need to open for fusion events. Yeah. So that means the question of skipping and not skipping and fusing is a legitimate question now. No doubt about it. Even if you diamond hand your shards, because you throw that in with the guaranteed champ events. And if you don't have shards for the guaranteed champ events, and they ever give us a good one, you know, they gave us Godseeker and Neri last time, I think for 25 void shards, and then they gave us Inquisitor Shamel last month. I mean in December, you know, amazing champ. Anybody would be nuts not to pull for that guy if you can and you have the void shards for it. So it's a legitimate question. You got to think about, okay, do I spend all my resources, get this champ that doesn't impact my account, or do I just save it for like guaranteed events or the next fusion champ, who could cost just about as much? Yeah, I feel you. I really do. So more and more, I think we're being kind of cornered into not pulling outside of a guaranteed champ event or a fusion event. I think that's kind of like the reality here, especially with these increasing shard costs for these champs. So this one, Karato, you're looking at 2,000 to 3,000, which is not bad if you're just going for like the first level of champ chase and summon rush, because you'll need to play both. It's about 2,000 to 3,000 points, not bad. But if you want to pocket the epic too, you're looking at 4,000 to 5,000 points, which is, you know, it's kind of like normal. It's average. But you think about Tatura, which is a way better fusion champ, and you could have gotten him for 0 shards if you just played hard. So these are the things you need to answer yourself. Obviously, you got to look at your account, you got to look at your shards, you got to look at the points, right? So we'll talk about the summon aspect of it tomorrow. But I think overall, it's a pretty average fusion, pretty average. And I'm definitely going to pull for him, so I can have him for my Faction Wars team later on if I really do need it. I think my Shadowkin is set though. And then also, I'm not quite sure how I'm going to play it this year in terms of the Endgame Teams. Does he have Endgame potential? I'm not sure of that either. It doesn't feel like he has Endgame potential. But, you know, it's a tool in my toolbox, and I got the shards to do it, so I'm going to go for it, right? Very low chance he makes an impact immediately or even anywhere close to this year. But like I said, it's just all upside when you pull a champ like this. You pull a dupe, you get Faction Guardian. You pull... I'm serious about that, actually. You pull a dupe, you get a faction guardian. You pull Yumeko miraculously, and now you have one of the strongest duos in the game. I mean, I mean that quite literally. Like they could be one of the strongest duos in the game, if not the strongest duo in the game. I mean, Sippy Rotos could still be the number one duo in the game, but they're very, very close. This is a sick combo right here, right? So that kind of upside, I think it's good enough to go for these events. But at the same time, you gotta take a look at your shards and budget and all that. You know the drill. You know how we do. See you guys next time.